So we're gonna brand it Chop and Brew, I guess, since you're out of batteries. Ha ha! Bam! What's going on, everybody? Chop and Brew Lanyap. I'm Chip Walton.
I'm DonO.
DonO, Don Osborn. He's got his camera. I think we're going to do some meta stuff here.
That's where the magic happens.
Shooting a video of a video being shot. What we're doing is we're getting on 2 double IPAs that were each sent to us from a fan in the Pacific Northwest. My fan is a guy named Michael Burnett from Walla Walla, Washington.
My fan is Noah from Portland, I think, right?
Yep, Noah Scott.
He sent a double IPA, and we've got it here, and we are drinking it.
He's also my fan, too, so don't flatter yourself, dude.
He's more my fan. Just kidding.
Noah Scott is awesome. I met him last year when I had the pleasure of being in PDX on a random business trip. So he sent us a double IPA that was brewed extremely recently. And then Michael Burnett sent one that was actually brewed kind of back in March. Been sitting on it longer than I should have to do the favor of doing a tasting note. So we thought we would get together and utilize this kind of 2 beers within the same style that turned out to not really be all that much alike. And who knows what those reasons are. We have ideas. Want to start with Noah's?
Yes.
Noah's is fresh off the brain.
I think he did it for Big Brew Day, May 4th. It is June 20th, so it is only 1.5 months old. And for a beer that has got to be 9 to 10%, that's pretty young.
Yeah.
It got up to 1090. Original gravity. Final gravity, he didn't check. He didn't check. What kind of a home brewer doesn't check? Come on. You got to know. You want to know. The people want to know. You want to know.
They make composition books for a reason, people.
Aroma is tangerine, citrusy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sweetness when you drink it, but there's a really firm bitterness. He's got all kinds of hops. Simcoe, Chinook, Centennial, Citra, Amarillo. He did a hop stand, which is something I've never tried yet. Have not tried yet. 2 ounces Amarillo and 2 ounces of Simcoe. So 4 ounces, he put it in there and let it stand for 30 minutes. There's a really nice hop character to this.
It sure is.
And it's really malty at the same time. It reminds me of a beer like Bell's Hop Slam. It has more body and more malt character than a Pliny the Elder. You know, I just thought of Hetty Topper. You've had that.
Yep.
It's in that ballpark. It's a really nice beer. It's kind of warming. There's a little booze. But we were talking before, and in this kind of a style, I don't mind that because you want the hop freshness so bad, you're going to just have a little bit of alcoholic kick if you make it this big in gravity.
I thought we didn't want to call it syrupy because people tend to put syrupy in a bad negative connotation column, but I think he used 1.5 pounds of real honey.
Yeah.
And I think that's adding like a nice cover, like a nice kind of a tarp, if you will, of a sweet kind of tarp.
Well, there's a half pound. There's a half pound of honey malt, but it is 19.5 pounds of grain.
Yeah.
So that is a fairly small percentage. And honey, I've always felt mostly ferments out, but at the same time, when I was drinking
not the honey malt, but the honey.
Right, the honey I think mostly ferments out. But when I was drinking it, I thought it reminded me of Bell's Hop Slam, and that they claim and they make a point of saying it is an ale brewed with honey.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe there's something to some residual honey character. Right. Otherwise, though, not to go on and on about it, it is really nice. You know, he asked for suggestions. I don't know that I would have any. If you wanted to make it drier, it would be a little thinner in body and a little even more bitter. Yeah. But it's pretty bitter as it is. Yeah. And I do like a certain amount of balance.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So Michael Burnett's beer is a little bit older. It's definitely just instantly just looking at it, it's a little darker in color. It's kind of going into slightly reddish. Whereas Noah's is pretty much kind of orange at darkest.
Well, you could look at his specialty grains, see if there was anything that pushed the color.
Michael from Walla Walla, his double IPA, 16 pounds pale malt, 8 ounces only of Cara Crisp 10 and white wheat malt, but he boiled for 90 minutes. So I think this color is probably coming from the extended boil.
Maybe.
Chinook and Magnum hops off the top for the 90, some Simcoe and Columbus throughout the boil, then Centennial Simcoe, and then 2 doses of dry hopping Columbus for 10 days, or Simcoe Centennial for 10 days. I'm not exactly sure. I'm making this up. But 2 different doses, including Columbus, Simcoe, and Centennial. It's hard to decipher sometimes the minutes. You never know if someone's saying they put them in at 10 or they put them for 10 days. Either way.
Oh, the dry hops. But this one is...
Our overall impression is, I honestly think the age on this one is affecting its flavor. No off flavors for sure on either of these beers.
Either one, there's...
This is tasting to me a little bit more like a hybrid of an American/English barley wine. The caramel's coming out a little ahead, but then the bitterness lingers nice, so you know it is hoppy and it's IPA-like. But I think being almost 4 months old in a bottle might have robbed it of some of the freshness that I imagine Michael had 3 months ago from his bottles. But I like this because to me it's almost more like...
I don't know if you drilled down to this level, but 2 ounces of Chinook. Did you go through the ounces?
No.
2 ounces of Chinook and 2 ounces of Magnum, both 13 to 14% alpha acid. 4 ounces of hops boiling for 90 minutes.
Yeah. And that comes across in the finish for sure.
That's what I was looking for.
It's nice because how dense and rich it is. It doesn't, that long bitterness doesn't make it feel, it almost urges you back for another drink as opposed to something that's usually that heavy.
It finishes more bitter, I think, than Noah's.
But
even
it doesn't
though
have the hop presence early in the experience as much as this does.
It kind of creeps up on you in the end. And maybe that is an interesting thing to talk about for a second with front loading them, boiling them for that amount of time, getting all those IBUs out of it that way versus a hop stand or loading it up more at the end, getting a lot of hop character and some bitterness, but maybe not without, maybe it's a different kind of bitterness. And I think more people are doing those hop stands and whirlpools and stuff like that on the homebrew level more now, I think.
Chris Payne's influence. What I like about this is I don't know what it tastes like 4 months ago. I'm going to be willing to bet the aroma and the flavor was a little sharper, but considering what's happened to this in just 4 months, I can imagine what will happen to this in a year, and I think that this beer will still be solid. So it's almost like this one is one to enjoy possibly in stages, like fresh, and then sit on some, because this could be an excellent Christmas time holiday beer for sure.
I was not sure, but I thought that it maybe was bottle conditioned. I saw a little bit of yeast coming down at the end of the pour, and if it is, or if he did bottle any of these and condition them that way, that would be great. Those would be great ones to age for a while and see how they taste.
Yeah. So I guess the takeaways I think would be, if you're going to try a double IPA, there's no right way to do it, just like most things in homebrewing.
Wrap it up.
And then I think if you're going to make a double IPA, you want to definitely know your event horizon, your peak time, and get on drinking it as soon as you can during that peak time, because I don't know what happens. Like, could Noah's actually drop off to the point where it's no longer even fathomable that it was a double IPA, whereas this, I would believe it was, but now it seems to be evolving into a nice barley wine, almost kind of.
I don't know. I've felt that I've done 2 or 3 of these double IPA type beers, and I am one too that's always. I learned early on in my brewing days that when you get to the end of your bottles, the end of your keg, you realize, oh, this is better than it was. Like, this is the best one out of the whole batch, and it's gone now. So I really learned to age them till they're really coming into their prime. However, with these types of beers, it's been my experience making a few of them that you pretty much just got to go with it. You got to get it on, you got to drink it, you got to share it, you got to enjoy that aroma, that sharpness. You got to just do it while you can, because that is definitely the thing that goes away first.
Like Northern Brewer says, brew, share, enjoy.
Yes.
If you want to try your hand at a double IPA, one of 2 versions, or try both, or blend them, whatever, Noah and Michael are nice enough to let us repost their recipes. So check the hyperlink underneath this video, wherever you found this video. You should be able to figure it out. If not, it's at chopandbrew.com as well. Click recipes.
Chop for chop.
Brew that brew.
All right. Peace.
Where was I? I feel like that camera's moved, but if you're in...
you feel like the cameras move?
Well, I think I moved
What's
it.
more likely to move, a camera on a tripod or your drunk ass? All right, I'm...
So this is what Don Osborn looks like. If you're a fan of his YouTube channel, this is what he looks like when he's shooting himself. Like, can you imagine if there's no one else here to see him doing that?
No, I do. That's true. The aroma is... He was concerned it might be dissipating a little bit. It's been, it's not very old, but he thought it's going a little bit
It's
lower.
2 months old. It might be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It can't even eat oat cereal yet. That's a joke for parents. But anyway, aroma is...
We're pretty deep in these double IPAs.
Yeah, we're doing good. We're feeling good.
cut
It's Thursday night.
Got some laundry to do.
Somewhere.
Justin Crowsley wishes he was in our basement.
Or Crossley.
Crowsley. Mr. Crowsley. Beam, beam, beam. That'll be on the blooper reel.